Welcome back everyone to our channel, Cooking with E and V. And tonight we're going to be doing a corned beef and cabbage cook. And also I would like to bid happy St. Patrick's Day to those who celebrate. And this is the ingredients for this cook. Today right here we have corned beef, which has been prepared last night and sitting in the refrigerator getting nice and happy. We have a head of cabbage, half a yellow onion, some Goya hamon seasoning, our garlic, and then we're going to be seasoning our cabbage with collard green seasoning. And of course my go-to, we're going to be using bacon for our fat. I can always get my bacon from Cooper's Country Meat Packers in Florence, Mississippi. Here is their number right there. Check those guys out. And in my previous videos, I also gave you some more information about these guys. They're doing great job. I love their meats. I love their products they have in their store. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and prep our cabbage. And I'll bring you back to show you how I cut my cabbage. I like to cut my cabbage in a certain way. Like I said before, this is not going to be a traditional corned beef and cabbage cook. This is going to be my twist on it. Corned beef and cabbage, cooking E and V style. We'll bring you back. Okay, first thing I like to do is the head of cabbage. I like to take these outer leaves off because they're dirty and they're kind of hard. And I don't like really using these. And then what I'll do, I'll wash the cabbage under water. See this right here, this core? What we're going to do, we're going to cut down in the center of that core. Have a very sharp knife when you do this. Okay. And as you can see, the cabbage is cut in half. And this core right here, we want to cut this out. We're going to make a wedge on both sides of the cabbage. Always cut away from you with the knife. And here is the core, it's exposed. This is not edible. You don't want to eat this. So we're going to throw that in our sink. We're going to take the other head of cabbage, other side of the cabbage, and do the same. Cut it on a V shape. And cut out that core. Just like so. That is very hard, it's not edible. Now, if you looked at my collard green video, you'll see that I like to cut my greens, including cabbage, very thin. So each half you cut into a quarter. So, and you see this little bit of impurities right here on your cabbage? Discard that, take that off. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take this whole layer off here as well. I don't like the way that looks. You don't want to eat that, so you take that off also. This looks good. I like the way that looks. And also way like that looks also. So now, what you're gonna do is with your sharp knife, you're gonna cut lengthwise real thin. This also aids in cooking your cabbage faster, and it'll be much more tender. Like me, I like a little more crunch in my cabbage. I like it to have some texture. I don't like it mushy. But you cook it the way you like to cook it. What you should wind up is something that looks like that. See that, guys? Nice and thin, easy to eat, tastes delicious. the other side, or other half. Cut it nice and thin. Make sure your knife is very sharp, because when you work with a dull knife, it can be very dangerous. And when you get close like that and you don't feel comfortable, turn it over as such and cut it thin the other way. At Cooking with E&V, not only do we want to bring you nice and delicious recipes, but we want to teach also, show you safety, and just make sure that you just have a good time while you're in the kitchen. So this is what this half should look like. You want it nice and thin, so if it breaks up and it's gonna cook even. Like I said, you can cook it to your preferred texture. My preferred texture is how my mom used to cook it. It had a little crunch to it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut these other two off camera and I'll bring you back. Stay tuned. Okay, our cabbage is fully cut in strips. Looks delicious. You can actually eat this raw if you want to. I know Val always does when I cook cabbage. She likes to sneak in and grab a piece. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the onions. I have a half of a large yellow onion. What I'm gonna cut this in half, and we're gonna cut this into like little slivers, real thin. And that's how we're gonna cook it in our cabbage. Now I'm only gonna be using half of onion, because we just want the onion flavor. We don't want to overpower our cabbage with strong onion flavor. And this part of the onion right here, I don't really like to use. It doesn't have the texture I like. So we're just gonna get rid of this. And this other half of the onion, we're gonna throw into our Insata Pot over here with our corned beef. So for now, let's get our bacon fried up. Actually, I'm not going to use this pot. I'm going to use a bigger pot. So we're going to set this to the side. We're going to go down here in our magic cabinet down here of pots. Just got to find the correct lid for it. Excuse me, everyone. This is real cooking, guys. This is what is going on in the kitchen off camera. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rinse my pot out. It's just a habit. We're gonna set her on medium. Now when bacon comes packed like this, a lot of times you'll be fast to go ahead and just rip this open. Well, if that's okay if you're gonna use all of what's in this package, but I'm not. So I like to take it from the back, open it up like this, turn it back over, and get whatever slices I'm gonna use. That way you can wrap this back up. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use about 4 to 5 strips. Since they're long, I'm gonna take them in half. You take your knife and glide through that like so. Here's 4 right here. And then we're gonna get one more. We wanna get a lot of fat, a lot of flavor and that cabbage. That's what's gonna make it taste good. So what you do is you carefully place your bacon down into your pot. I think I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I don't want it to cook too fast. I got a leaky sink here. I got to change the washer out. It is so annoying when the sink is dripping. Drip, 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 drip. It'll drive you crazy. Like I said, this is a real kitchen, guys. This is real cooking. Things like that happen in people's kitchens across America and across the world every day. Okay, and one more piece. We're just gonna lay that in there like that. Now, just wash my hands real quick. So, how was everyone's day today? Hope everybody had a good Monday. Hope you were safe at work. Hope everyone is still practicing social distancing. It's very important that we do that until this epidemic thing is under control and out of our lives. Okay, we're also going to add some garlic, and this is how I like to break my garlic up. If I have a whole bulb like this, I just whack it one time, and then I have some garlic cloves that come off. For this recipe, I'm going to use 4 nice sized garlic cloves. I'm going to put this back in this area here, and then what I'll do, I take my palm of my hand, smash that garlic clove like such. Show you one more time. Just take the palm of your hand. You don't have to go real hard. Just kind of whack it slightly hard just to get them peels off. Looks like I have 2 in here. So. Oh, actually, there's more than 2. There's 3 in there. And just some word of advice from Cooking with E&B. If you do plan on having a St. Patrick's party at your house, or you're out at your local bar or any place, excuse me, just make sure you please be careful and social distance. Wear your mask, folks. Your mask is definitely slowing down this COVID. And you also want to keep your family safe when you go home to your family. Okay, the bacon is rendering down very nicely. When you're doing this, you don't want to put a high heat under your bacon. You want it to cook down slow so you can render out all that great fat for that flavor. Alright, while that's rendering down, I'm going to chop this garlic up. Well, let me show you actually how I'm going to chop it up. We'll do a couple of them. What I like to do, I like to further smash my garlic with a knife. And then basically, you can mince it. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to cook down inside of that cabbage. So give it a good whack like that. Basically, you want to smash it and just give it a good mix. Alright, so when I bring you back, we're going to be placing the cabbage inside of our pot, and then after that, we'll get our corned beef rolling. Stay tuned, we'll see you later. Okay, our bacon is cooked, as you can see, and it smells delicious. It's very smoky, got a great flavor. I also want to bring this pot into you to show you the fat that we have in here. That's going to be enough. So what you're going to do now is take your garlic that you chopped up. You want to throw it in here until it gets fragrant. You don't want to leave it in there too long so that it will burn. That's it. Let me go get a spoon here. Just not even a minute, just 30 seconds or so, if that. Okay, now I'm smelling the garlic. So you want to take your cabbage and you want to put this on high heat. Remember, cabbage is probably 95% water, if not more. Throw your cabbage in there. You want to hear a sizzle, which we do. And what you want to do is just throw about half of the head of cabbage into your pot, which is about this much. Take your bacon that you cooked, take half of it. In this case, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to put 4 pieces of our cabbage. Of our bacon on top of our cabbage. Take your lid, cover that up. In a short little while, it's gonna get nice and soft, and you'll be able to stir your cabbage and turn everything around. Oh, almost forgot. We're gonna take half of our onions that we cut up, about that much. And we're going to sprinkle that on too. So you're basically taking everything, you half your bacon, half your onions, and half of your cabbage. And at this time, you can go ahead and put your Goya Hamon package in the mix as well. And we're also going to take our collard green seasoning. Shout out to Val's aunt, Auntie Emma, for turning me on to this. Like I said, you know, you can use your own measurements, but what I'm going to use is probably a tablespoon of this. So right now what you want to do, you want to start stirring your cabbage. Let's see if I can bring this camera in closer, y'all, so y'all can see this. Hope that's visible to you. Now you do not want to add any water. Like I said, your cabbage is probably 95 to 97% water. Keep that heat nice and high. Keep stirring. At this moment, you can actually see the cabbage getting a little soft and bringing out its water. Like I said, this is not your traditional corned beef and cabbage recipe, but it's going to be super delicious. Now the cabbage has gone down in size. You may have some pieces that didn't get chopped up. You just take your wooden spoon and break it down. Oh, this smells delicious, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, now that the cabbage is going down, what we want to do is add our other half carefully. I don't like that piece. Looks like I put a little bit more than half the first time, but that's okay. We're gonna add the rest of our onion, like so. And then we have 4 pieces of bacon left. We're gonna add that. We're gonna cover our pot a little bit, let the steam get in there to get that cabbage rendered down a little bit. And stay tuned, I'll bring you back. Alright, as you can see, our cabbage has wilted down considerably. And I think I want to add about another teaspoon of this collard green seasoning. So we're going to add roughly half a teaspoon. Be good. We don't want to make our cabbage too salty because it already has the bacon in there. And this cabbage is going to cook probably for another 30 seconds and it's going to be done. We're going to set it off to the side with the lid closed, and then we'll continue to cook. I'm gonna go in for a taste test for see how crunchy it is. We want the right texture. Oh yeah, that is the right consistency, right texture. Only thing I'm gonna add to this is a little bit of black pepper, not too much. Maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. Get it off on the sides, make it nice and neat inside your pot. And that's it, folks. This cabbage is done. We're gonna set this to the side right here. Set it in the middle. And what I'll do, I'll put my warming center on low. Okay, I'm just gonna bring you back right now. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna work on our corned beef. What you wanna do is take your large pot. Let me clean my stove off first. Take yourself a large pot. We're gonna put it on medium. Clean my station off a little bit. Excuse me. Didn't mean to bump the camera. And here is the star of our show, our corned beef. Like I said, I already put the corned beef package that comes with the corned beef. As you can see, the little bits of seasonings right here. We got your mustard seeds, and I also added some garlic powder and some onion powder. Now what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Get this open. They seal these real good. I'm gonna throw a little bit in the pan, just enough to get the lubrication going. When you put that meat in there, it doesn't stick. Work your pan around. And what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna sear both sides of this corned beef. And once they're seared, I'm gonna take them out, let them rest, and I'm gonna get the Insata Pot ready. And then we're gonna set them in the Insata Pot. We're gonna set it on the the pressure setting on more. That way it's gonna cook a little bit faster and the meat's gonna be tender. All right, so our pot is ready. Grab my fork here. There's two pieces. We're gonna take the fatty side first and sear it. And sear it on high heat. And I also forgot to mention one thing. We're gonna be having Minute Maid jasmine rice with this meal. 3-4 years ago, if you told me to make some Minute Maid rice, I'd have been like, you're crazy. I'd make rice regular. But this rice is wonderful, it's fast, it's convenient, and it tastes just as good as any converted rice or parboiled rice that you will cook for, say, 15 or 20 minutes. I love this stuff. So our meat is getting nice and brown. What I'm going to do in the meanwhile, we're going to set our Instant Pot up. Let's go get the power cord. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Now this one piece I have in the pot right here may be too big to fit in the Instant Pot, so what I'm going to take my chopper board and I'll cut it in half. And then of course we're going to add our onions. I'm just going to put chunks of onions in. And what I'm going to do this now. I'm going to lay the onions on the, I don't think I need this trivet. We're not going to use this trivet, guys. We're going to lay it on the bottom of our Instant Pot. I'm going to add just a touch of virgin olive oil. Just a touch. Now let's see how our meat's going. Just a little bit more brown. We want to get that flavor in there. Alright guys, I don't want to make this video too long because I don't want to bore my beautiful audience. So I'm going to continue to sear our corned beef on both sides. I'll continue to sear this piece on both sides. And when we come back, we'll be placing everything in the Instant Pot, getting our chicken broth in and everything. Don't go away. Okay, as you can see, our corned beef is getting brown. It's got that beautiful brown color, which is going to bring a lot of flavor. The back of it is also nice and brown. And I think this is ready to go. So now what we're going to do, we're going to transfer this from our pot. Let me just turn her down. Turn it off actually. We're going to transfer this to the pot. Like so. And we ain't gonna waste anything around here. We're gonna take those juices, pour them down in that pot. Alright, now what I have here is some concentrated chicken stock. I made it from this chicken flavored bouillon, the powdered. Just gonna throw that in here like this. Now I have 5 cups of water. We're going to start here. We just want to cover our meat just right above the where the meat is at. Pour it to the side. That way you won't take off your seasonings coating on your meat. And that's good for me. We used about 2.5 cups, about 3 cups. Kind of arrange your meat as best as you can to get down underneath that water. Like so. I have 2 bay leaves that we're going to add. Alright, that's it folks. We have our chicken stock, a little bit of water. We browned our corned beef. We have our bay leaves. We have our cut onions up. The only thing to do now is go ahead and grab our top. I always have a hard time trying to close this thing. There we go. Close our pot. We're gonna set it to pressure cook. Pressure level is normal. Actually, we're gonna make it to more. We're gonna hit our start button. And what you want to do, you want to make sure your pressure cap is up. Down would be the release pressure. You want to make sure that's up. And there she goes. She started up. I'll bring you back in a little while. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I just wanted to bring you back. When I started the Instant Pot, I started up wrong. Cooking with E&V, we want to teach and we want beginners to learn how to cook and how to use the equipment. So what I did pressure cook, and I put whatever pressure level I wanted. And what I did, I hit delay start, and just instead of hitting the plus or the minus for the time, I hit delay start. What you got to do, whatever you want to cook. Like for instance, if you want to pressure cook, you hit pressure cook, you hit your pressure level, and then you put your time in, and that's it. Unless you want to do a delay start, that's when you hit delay start. Once you hit pressure cook, pressure level, plus or minus whatever time you want to set it for, it'll start automatically. I just wanted to clarify that, and I appreciate your time. Okay, at this moment, I'm going to start my jasmine rice. I have 2 cups of boiling water, and we're going to place in 2 cups of jasmine rice. I kind of put my own little twist on this. I don't exactly go by the manufacturer's instructions. The directions tells you to boil the water, put your rice in, put the top on, and set to the side. What I like to do, I like to let the rice come back up to a boil again, and then I put my top on and I set it to the side. My rice comes out a little more drier, a little fluffier like this, but you cook it the way you like to cook it. You can also use the manufacturer's directions. That's fine also. Now, as you can see, the bubbles was coming up because it's starting to boil again. So at this point, what I do, I take my cover, cover the rice. I give it about another 5 seconds, and then I take it off. Well, I probably had it on there too long, but you get the idea. All right, corned beef is in the Insata Pot. The rice is cooking. The cabbage is all done. Next time I bring you back, we'll plate. See you later. Well, all right. The corned beef has cooked in the Instant Pot. This has probably got to be the best invention that's ever made for busy families to get work done and cooking done in a short period of time. Let's take a piece out. Oh yeah, you still see where we browned it. We don't need that bay leaf. We're gonna throw that bay leaf back in there. Okay, it looks like the grains are going this way, so we want to cut against the grain. Let's see if we can achieve that. This part right here, I'm going to give it to my coworker and my friend first for his lunch tomorrow. It's just cutting like butter, people. It's delicious. It's cutting like butter. Alright. I think I'm going to set this little piece aside for my taste test. And right here, I have our jasmine rice and our greens here. These will be our corned beef and cabbage, our cabbage greens. Let's go in and take a taste test. Doesn't look good, and it's juicy. See all the juices right here. It's delicious. Look at that bite, y'all. Boy, I wish they had television. It'd be another level. Oh my God. It's flavorful, it's juicy, it's cooked just right. What I'm gonna do now is before I present the plate, I'm gonna take care of my homeboy. There's 3 nice slices right here. This is for you, Big E. Big E, we call him Big E, but his name is Earl. That's my buddy. He's gonna eat good tomorrow for lunch. I'm gonna fill him up. One more piece for E. Alright, that looks delicious. That's a lunch anybody would want to eat. Alright, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna cover this. Set it to the side. And I have one here for me for my lunch. We're gonna take that, get that out the way. I have some rice, some cabbage, and this beautiful tender corned beef. It's gonna go right here. Yes, sir. And get all of it. Now, going back to the pot, we have some other pieces right here. And I just think I don't have enough. So, mind you, the grain is working this way, it's going across. So you always want to cut against the grain. So we'll cut a piece off right here. Oh wow, look how easy this went through there. What an Insata Pot is an amazing marvel. Love that Insata Pot. Okay, so I think I'll take me a piece here. And I'll also we'll grab a piece like that. Like that. I think that's gonna be it. Now, you don't only have to eat corned beef with, let's say, like cabbage and rice. You can put corned beef on a piece of rye bread with some mustard, and you feel like you're just like that Cat's Delicatessen in Lower East Side of Manhattan. Well, this is our final plate, guys. Well, actually, no. This is our final lunch plate. We're gonna cut this, close this up. But this is our final plate. This is our final plate. We're gonna carefully place our beautiful corned beef on this plate. Like so. Just gonna work with one hand. My baby V is not here with me today. But this is it, guys. This is corned beef 101. It's nothing hard about this. Just get your seasonings in there. The seasonings that you desire. You can use that season pack. You can also put your twist on it and add other seasonings. It's going to be terrific. Oh, we left a piece down here. Of course, my counter is impeccably clean. So let's go in and give her a taste test. First of all, we're going to start with our rice, our jasmine rice. It looks beautiful. I love jasmine rice. It's fragrant. It's beautiful. And I'm gonna take a plate. I don't know if you noticed or not. I have 2 hot peppers on there. I'm not particularly wanting to eat the hot peppers, but they look good on the plate. Let's go into the cabbage. Yes, y'all. Cabbage looks delicious. Perfect consistency. A little salty, not much, garlicky, oniony. It's great. And now, let's go into the star of our show, our corned beef. Take you in for a closer look at that. Look at that corned beef. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I love corned beef. This corned beef is the bomb. Well, this is the end of our cook, guys. I'm Eric from Cooking with E&V. Val is off doing work right now. I wish she was here with me, but she'll be in other videos. I think she has another video coming up doing a strawberry shortcake. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm sure you all are. So just remember to subscribe, like, and share our videos, including this video. Give us a comment on this video. Tell us how you like this video. This is not your conventional St. Patty's Day corned beef video. It's a little bit twisted. It's a little bit different. I call it Brooklyn style. I call it Brooklyn style corned beef and cabbage. That's right, because I'm from New York. I love New York, and this is how I ate it back in New York. So, good night, YouTube. Take care. God bless you, and have a lovely work day in the morning. Be safe. Keep your social distancing. Wear your mask. Let's do our part. We love you. Good night.